was looking for something in that genre that I love mythology, and something that I thought was smart and had a lot of interesting ideas embedded inside this supernatural genre, and that's how I found Beautiful Creatures. Well, I went through many drafts, and in my early drafts, I did adapt the whole book the way it was written in the book. And it was just too big. It was too dense, and it wasn't for me. And this is personal. It just wasn't. I wanted it to be more emotional. I wanted you to feel more for these two, Romeo and Juliet, these two young lovers. So I decided that I was going to take the Romeo and Juliet story and use that as my spine. I was going to take the claiming of her birthright and her, being 16 as the time clock that was going to move the story forward. And then any obstacle to their love story I kept, and everything else I let go. Many actors had auditioned, and my casting director, Marcia Simkin, cast a net all over the world, Australia and London. And Alice, sometimes you get these auditions and you get them online because you're in the middle of preparing the movie. And Alice's wasn't even my movie. It was an audition for something else. She had no interest in even coming in for this, and nor did Alden, which was the first thing that made me want them both. Because I liked that they were...
What one you can't have sort of thing?
No, it was about that they were not... They thought this was... And my own hesitation about doing this was that people were going to perceive this as being a Twilight copy.
Right.
And we share a genre, I'm not denying that, but it's an original story that these two authors created, different characters, it's a completely different movie and a completely different idea. And I wanted to explore these ideas and themes in it and somehow take the genre and see if we could make more of it with humor and great actors. And so I had to go to London to just meet with Alice for an hour to convince her that, no, I agree with you, I don't want that world either, because she had no interest in being a part of that kind of celebrity or that kind of spotlight. And I said, I really just think this is an interesting material that we can work with. And then she came in the next day and played with us for a few hours and brought something to Lena that for me wasn't on the page. There was this gravity and this intelligence and wit, but also this old soul quality, this sort of, because Lena is a teenager who had to grow up too early. She's carrying this burden as a teenager. And Ethan is also carrying a burden because his mother just passed away, and so he's become the guy running the house, and he's disconnected from his teenage friends, and so they have this union, that they share this bond together. And Alden, originally when we were going out to all the actors, he didn't come in because his managers told him that it was just sort of a teen supernatural movie without reading it, and he didn't even read it and said, no, I'm not interested. So then we had cast another actor from London and lost him, and then we went back to Alden, and then he finally read the script, and when he read the script, he came in and read, and I cast him right away.
Well, and then you surrounded them with amazing veteran actors.
I was lucky.
Jeremy Irons, yeah. Emma Thompson, Viola Davis. Tell me a little bit about casting them in the
film. I was just lucky to get them. I mean, I still come from a place where I write something and I don't think anybody's going to be interested. So I'm always surprised when people say yes. But Viola was the first actress I went after in the whole cast, and I wanted her for Emma, so I combined those two characters to give her something interesting to play, because if you want great actors, you've got to give them great material, or interesting material, something interesting to play that they haven't done before. And so we got Viola. Jeremy was the original idea that the authors had in the book, so he was, when you think about how he's described in the book, Macon is someone who you're expecting to see Boo Radley from To Kill a Mockingbird, and out comes Noel Coward. And Jeremy, nobody could do that better with that voice and his the way he moves and his incredible talent. And Emma Thompson, I've been in love with for years, who's one of the most talented women I know. She's a writer, she's an actress, a director, so vibrant and so full of ideas. And I remember telling her that in the script, saying that I didn't want the transition from Mrs. Lincoln to Seraphine to have anything to do with CGI in the most of the book, in the most of the movie. I wanted it all to be about performance and about voice and manner, and she saw that as a fun challenge, as a really interesting thing to do. So I think just offering them interesting challenges is what got helped get the actors that we got.
Last question I'll ask you: are you ready for the sequels? Are you prepared for?
I have to read the books. I haven't read the other books, so I would have to read the books. But let's see how this one goes.
Of course,
it's up to the gods and the audience.